Yesterday, Sayadaw mentioned that in the moment of seeing, when we note the seeing process as a whole, seeing, when our effort, virya and sati, mindfulness and samadhi, concentration, develop, knowledge begins to arise, starting from the discerning mind and body, nama and rupa. And as we continue to practice, we come to know how these two are related by cause and effect. The cause-effect relationships are many, takes many forms. For example, nama, mentality, can cause mentality. Or rupa can cause mentality. And rupa can cause rupa. Physicality can cause physicality. I'm sorry, I didn't do it in the right order. So rupa, physicality, can cause mentality, nama. And nama, mentality, can also cause rupa, physicality. Nama, mentality, can also cause nama. And rupa can also cause rupa. So there are many, many forms that these cause-effect relationships take. And therefore, Sayadaw simply explained one clearly. And if we understand cause and effect, if we see this, the view of Creator, false view of Creator is destroyed. Now, some people believe in Mahabrahma. This Mahabrahma created the world according to the belief and rules the world. And with Satipatthana practice, we observe how physicality and mentality arise according to causes, according to relevant causes. And therefore one dispels the view of fictitious cause, visamahetuka deti. Coming to see cause and effect clearly through Vipassana practice, Satipatthana practice, is called Yathābhūtānupassana. And this is knowledge which discerns clearly according to cause and effect, which really exist. Without this knowledge, one will accept the view of a creator. And this is because what one knows is wrong, and based on that, one has faith in the wrong thing. So, where did this Mahabrahma come from? Well, when we know cause and effect, then this incorrect knowing is dispelled. It's replaced by correct knowing. We know correctly how nama and rupa arise due to their relevant causes. And so we become free of this belief in something false. Before Satipatthana practice, we don't know things as they really are. And we have layers of ignorance, deep layers of ignorance. And this is called samoha. Moha means lack of clarity, knowing wrongly, wavering. And the word sam means it's intense. So intense lack of clarity. And with this, faith can't arise. But when we see cause and effect, our vision becomes clean. And just as when light appears, darkness is dispelled, so too when knowledge arises, our wrong idea is dispelled. We come to see, these things are just occurring due to their causes. There's a cause for mind to arise. There's a cause for physicality to arise. This is how it comes to be. So we see directly that there's no creator involved. So this sammoha, this intense lack of clarity, is also said to be abhinivesa. That means that it penetrates like a thorn. So, and this thorn of intense moha is dispelled with seeing cause and effect clearly. Yatha bhutanupasanato samabhinivesam pasahati. When one sees clearly according to the knowledge of how things really are, as in terms of cause and effect, this intense wavering which has penetrated into us is discarded. So when we note the presently arising object, when knowledge arises, we discern mind and body, and then based on that we know cause and effect. And this knowing of cause and effect is called yatha bhutanupasana jnana, the knowledge of things as they really are according to cause and effect. One who develops this knowledge, and only one who develops this knowledge, will dispel the deep moha samabhinivesa. In seeing, in the moment of seeing, there's the eye and the visible form. These are physical, and they are cause in this instance. And there's seeing consciousness, which is the effect. So there's not a self involved in this. There's just I and form coming together and causing the effect of seeing consciousness. There's no self, and there's no creator. What happens is nama and rupa arising. This is really what is happening. So if we observe cause and effect as they're happening, we see clearly. When phenomena arise, if we see it clearly, if we observe, we see clearly cause and effect. Physicality, in this case, physicality causing mentality. And due to our noting, our observing, we see clearly. Therefore, wavering is dispelled. And we see, this seeing comes about not without a cause. There's a cause to it. And we see also that it doesn't come about due to a creator making it. So previously, these views were held, but now we no longer believe these. Vicikiccha, doubt, is a factor of mind that cannot decide about the object. When we see cause and effect clearly, our effort, mindfulness, and concentration are strong, and the mind comes directly face to face with the object. And then, because of that, we clearly know. We dispel the view of the Creator. Originally, without the practice, we believed in something that is not really there. By observing what's really there with the practice, we become free of this view. In the texts, one who has gained this knowledge is praised as one who can breathe freely in the teachings. Without this knowledge, we believe in this or that. And involved in the belief in a creator is, if we don't believe, we'll go to hell. So when we see cause and effect, we see that the creator is not there, so we don't have anything to fear. We can breathe freely. we realize that Mahabrahma can't make us suffer and can't make us happy either. Before we come to see cause and effect, we're worried because we might not go to heaven. We might go to hell. So it's also said that one who has the knowledge, the yatha bhuta anupassana jnana, insight into cause and effect, has a foothold in the teaching. If you keep on going, this is the path. Keep on going. It's just along this path. So one feels that. One feels on solid ground. So one has gained a new level of knowledge, and due to gaining this, one won't give up on the path that one has embarked on. And so the person who has gained this level of knowledge is called Chula Sotapanna, a small stream enterer, a small Sotapanna. Now, a big Sotapanna, Mahasotapanna, is one who has realized first passing. But if the person who has developed this knowledge of yatha bhuta anupassana jnana keeps on walking, they will reach the goal. So this knowledge is praised in the text. However, it is not yet Vipassana knowledge. Although this knowledge into cause and effect is not yet Vipassana knowledge, it is still very satisfying to come to it. And when one understands cause and effect, one starts to destroy suffering. Dukkha. Dukkha is evaporating, coming to an end with this knowledge. Dukkha is suffering. It's not good. But mostly we don't know the quality of suffering, so we don't work to overcome it. And we endure this suffering. There are rounds of suffering. A round is called, in Pali it's called vata. And because it goes around and around in a cycle, it's called vata, or round. So we have suffering due to this, the fact that things happen in a circle. We keep on going around in a circle. The way water continues to flow, or the way a fan goes when it's turned on. That's how these rounds continue to cycle. There are three kinds of suffering there are three kinds of rounds, and they each cause suffering. So there's the round of Kilesas and the suffering involved in that. There's the round of Kama, and there's the round of results. So the suffering of the round of Kilesas is, the Kilesa, it happens when we perform acts with bad intention, when we perform according to Kilesas. When Kilesas arise in our mind stream, this is the round of Kilesas. And actions based on these are the result, are Kama, the round of Kama, or the round of deeds. This also is a round of suffering. So there's the suffering of the round of Kilesas, the suffering of the round of Kama, and also there's the suffering of the round of results. There's the results, vipaka, is what happens due to our actions. So these are three ways that suffering goes around. So cause-effect continuously happening is around, and we understand that. And there's Kilesa, Kama, Vipaka. These three are called the rounds. Kilesa Vata. No? Kilesa Vata is the first of these three rounds. that we experience, kilesa, kama, and vipaka. Kilesa, the round of kilesa, is described as, although there are many kilesas, only 3 are described as being the round of kilesas. And they are 1, avijja, and 2, tanha, and 3, upadana. Avijja is not knowing the true Dhamma, or knowing it incorrectly. For example, everything in our body is dukkha, suffering. But we don't know that it's suffering if we don't practice, and instead we think it's sukha, pleasant. We think that hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, thinking, all the things that we can experience are pleasant. So this is avijja, not knowing suffering or knowing it in the wrong way, taking it for being pleasurable. And tanha is wanting these things, thirst. Tanha is like thirst for these experiences, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, thinking, and so on. So it is the cause of our suffering. And upadana is strong craving. And this includes wrong view of a creator. So the 3 main kilesas are avijja, not knowing, and then the tanha, thinking that this suffering is good, and upadana, not wanting to let go, of the things that we experience, fiercely holding on. And this includes a strong belief in a creator and so on, and desire for life, new life, and there's 4 forms of upadana, this strong clinging. So kilesa, kama, vipaka, these 3 are called the rounds. And kilesa, is that one? Ignorance, craving, clinging, the 3-part round of kilesas. When kilesas are present, there is suffering. They burn us, and so there's the suffering of the round of kilesas. Yeah. So, for the most part, people in the world have bad physical and verbal behaviors and don't do good very often. So the bad behaviors that people in the world do, physically, there's killing and stealing and adultery, and verbally, there's lying and harsh speech and backbiting, slander, and wasting time with frivolous talk or frivolous writing. And then mentally, bad deeds are wanting to get what belongs to other people by lying, cheating, and so on, by wrong means. And also wanting to harm others or kill them. And also thinking, if we do good, nothing will happen. If we do bad, nothing will happen. It doesn't make any difference, and when we're dead, there's nothing else. Those are examples of the 10 types of bad deeds that people do in the world. These things are quelled by sila. They're kept in check by sila, as far as the physical and verbal. But there's still potential to do these things. Even if we keep sila, there's still within our stream of existence, there's the potential to do misdeeds. And even if one develops metta, that's still not enough to bring us to liberation. Because of the seeds that are contained, the kilesas, the avijja, tanha, and upadana, the round of kilesas that are still going on within us. So we don't know, because of avijja, we don't know the truth about the things we experience, and we think that what we experience is good. And we also don't know that misdeeds are are bad, and so we don't avoid them. So we make mistakes. We think wrongly about our experience and also about the types of things that we do or say. So due to wanting, we want something, tanha arises, and we don't see the fault in following that. So through wanting also, we believe in things like a creator, which are not really true. So for the most part, we do bad in our lives due to ignorance. And we think that we believe in things that are false, but we think that they're true. And we thirst for the things that we experience. So we do actions based on our wrong view, based on our ignorance. So based on ignorance, the actions that we do contain this seed, which is called kama. So it's the intention, it's like the urge that pushes us to do something. It's involved in every action that is based on ignorance. So due to these kilesas, we do good and we do bad. And these good and bad things that we do just lead to more life. They just lead to old age, sickness, death, and rebirth. They don't lead us out of the cycle of existence. So this is called the round of deeds, the round of kama. So we continue, without practice, we continue to go around with our deeds. The third round is the suffering of the round of results, vipaka vata dukkha. There are two kinds of result. One is direct result. That comes from the good karma or the bad karma that we've done. An example is if we've done good karma, will be reborn in a good realm such as the human realm. So that it's the start of our life. So this is the direct result of good karma, being born as a human. And then there's also indirect results. When we're in the human life, we see, hear, taste, touch, smell, think. These things are indirect results. The direct result of our good karma is being born as a human. And in that human life, what we experience are the indirect results of good karma, good and bad. These results that we experience are suffering. So they're called dukkha. And they go around, so they're called around. And they're results, so they're called vipaka or results. So this is called the suffering of the round of results. Why do these results come to be? Because the good and bad deeds we did were based on kilesas. So these results come from the round of deeds, the good and bad actions that we've performed containing the seed of ignorance. Due to the round of kilesas, we perform actions. That's the round of actions, or the kama vata, round of kama. Due to our deeds, there are results. So these three rounds revolve. They each interact. Due to the seeds of ignorance, avijja, and also thirst, tanha, we grasp on, when we die, we grasp on to a new life. And therefore that's the new round of kilesas starting again. So because of kilesas, these three rounds interact and they revolve. And the Buddha said that these are simply suffering. So there are 3 types of suffering due to rounds. And the round of Kilesas, the suffering due to the round of Kilesas, is at the root of all of our suffering. As long as we don't uproot the Kilesas, then we'll continue to do actions based on Kilesas. And when we do actions, there will be results, both direct results, such as having a new life, and indirect results. So, as long as this Kilesa, the round of Kilesas, revolves, the other 2 will revolve continuously. Kilesas undestroyed, action continues, thus results arise. So the actions based on deeds based on Kilesas will continue if the Kilesas aren't destroyed, and due to the actions there will be results. On the other hand, if we destroy the round of Kilesas, if we destroy the Kilesas, that round will stop and the other 2 will stop automatically. Destroy the round of Kilesas, then action stops, as do results. As far as how to destroy the round of Kilesas, Sayadaw gives the example of when, if we're going to kill a person. Now there are many parts to a person's body. But if we want to kill, if someone wants to kill, then the most effective way to kill is to cut off the head. And as far as Kilesas are concerned, the head is ignorance, avidya. And if this is present, then for sure we will have new lifetimes continuously. As long as avidya is present, we will have a new life, time and time again. If avidya is no longer present, we will not have any new lifetimes. So this will stop. It will stop the round of Kilesas if we cut off the head, avidya. Tomorrow, Sayadaw will explain how this works in theory and in practice. That's all for today. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.